It began with an online listing for land, priced far below everything around it. The price looked like an opportunity everyone else had somehow missed. He could already see houses, tenants, and profit where there was only empty ground. The seller called quickly and warned that several other buyers were ready to pay. He was told to transfer a deposit immediately or lose the deal. At first glance, the land seemed large, open, and full of potential. But the boundaries were unclear, and nobody could show him where the plot truly ended. The access road existed on paper, but on the ground it was barely passable. Then he noticed watermarks, eroded soil, and signs that the land flooded during heavy rain. Worse still, the papers, survey, and physical location did not seem to describe the same property. Each time he asked a direct question, the seller answered with another vague explanation. The original title was never available, only photocopies and promises that it would come later. A neighbor quietly warned him that another family also claimed part of the same land. The cheap plot was no longer just land. It was becoming a dispute waiting for a buyer. A lawyer reviewed the papers and found gaps that should never have been ignored. The surveyor discovered that the coordinates pointed somewhere different from the land he had been shown. Planning checks showed that the development he imagined might not even be approved there. To reach the plot properly, he would have to fund drainage, grading, and most of the access road. The ground would also need filling, soil tests, and stronger foundations before construction could begin. Once every hidden expense was added, the cheap land was no longer cheap at all. He had reached the moment every rushed buyer eventually faces. Pay now, or pause and verify. The seller increased the pressure, insisting that hesitation would cost him the opportunity. His advisor gave him the answer the seller never would. The risk was already too high. So he did something difficult but intelligent. He walked away before paying. The seller became angry, which told him more than any document had. Days later, the same plot appeared online again, waiting for someone less cautious. Another buyer arrived, seeing the same bargain and the same imagined profit. He finally understood the pattern. The deal only looked good before anyone investigated it. The low price was not a gift. It was compensation for problems the seller hoped he would ignore. He learned that land should never be judged by price alone. First, confirm that the person selling the land actually has the legal right to sell it. Next, verify the title independently, instead of trusting photocopies, assurances, or verbal explanations. Confirm that the survey coordinates, boundary pegs, and physical location all describe the same plot. Visit more than once, because dry ground can hide serious drainage and flooding problems. Make sure the access is both physically usable and legally recognized. Check whether the land use, setbacks, and planning rules allow the project you intend to build. Calculate every cost required to make the land secure, accessible, and ready for development. A genuine opportunity can survive questions, document checks, and professional inspection. A bad deal often depends on speed, confusion, and fear of missing out. The cheapest land is not the one with the lowest price. It is the one that remains safe after everything has been verified. Verify before you pay.